What's up, everybody? This was supposed to be a main feed episode that we were going to talk about Best Actor and Actress. Then the fan vote poll sort of took on a life of its own, which we'll talk about a little bit in the episode. Today, I'm joined with Blake and Turtle.
What's up?
Hi.
And we're going to be picking the Best Actor and Actress of the decade. Whose ever pick wins. They automatically get that film gets added to our tournament of the Decade in Review, which is going to be for the 2010s. We are doing it at the start of 2020 because it's not really that many film releases in winter, at the start of the year. So we'll get right into it. Okay, so for those that are wanting to hear Adam Driver or Robert Pattinson or Kate Blanchett thoughts, we will have that in a few. But Blake, bring us on with your number 3 actor choice.
My number 3 actor is Michael Shannon. He just brings it's not necessarily raw, it's kind of over the top, but he brings an intensity to every role. He's pretty much always the villain except for in Take Shelter, or in Midnight Special too, but 99 Homes, Shape of Water.
And the night before, he's a good guy.
I haven't seen that, but
or the night of.
No, it's the night before. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
I kind of skipped out on that. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I like it,
but he's really good in Premium Rush. Did either of you see that? It's kind of a silly movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Interesting.
But he's captivating there, and then Take Shelter I mentioned. Probably his biggest exposure, or first big exposure, but he's really great there. And then he's been in all of that director's films so far, like Midnight Special and Loving,
and he's great in Mud too.
Yeah,
small role. I like that you bring up an actor like this because I don't think Shannon is talked about in our best actors. Right now because of his character actor status. And that's always nice for people like him or like Michael Stuhlbarg, or I'm trying to think of some other, people that turn in several great performances this decade that sort of go less recognized than others as marquee names. So great pick.
He was overshown or outshined, I think, in Shape of Water and Nocturnal Animals. Richard Jenkins and Aaron Taylor Johnson kind of beat him out in those films, but really great.
I agree with Aaron Taylor Johnson is wicked in Nocturnal Animals. But yeah, he also has Knives Out coming out, and he's real solid in that with the ensemble. And again, you'll see it eventually, but he's unhinged Michael Shannon, which I love.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I hear you, Blake, and I see that you're omitting the film with where his wife is into furries. What is that film called?
Which film is this?
What?
What's that film called? It's the one with Christina Hendricks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
His wife, Christina Hendricks, is cheating on him with a furry.
Kind of lost.
Oh, I'll find it.
I didn't know this was a film. Turtle.
Is this Fahrenheit 451? Is there furries?
No. You hang in there. I'll find the name later.
Okay, Turtle. What is your third pick for best actor of this decade?
I think I'm going to go for Ben Whishaw.
Hello.
Hi,
Wishaw's entered the studio. Crazy.
It's a pleasure to have you, sir. Ben Whishaw is he's one of those actors. I think you'll be much more aware of his presence if you live in the British Isles. He's one of those great BBC actors that you see all over the place. But he's turned out so many stellar performances. Even like Cloud Atlas, which I feel so tepid about. I really enjoyed him in it. Perfume's an amazing one, where he plays this absolute feral man. London Spy was really good, and also Paddington. Amazing bit of voice work. I just love Ben Whishaw, and he's one of those very consistent actors.
Nice, lovely. So I have a bevy of actors I could go with. And the problem is because we've limited to 3, because we don't want to talk about 50 different actors, because there's a lot of great ones for the decade. I think I'm going to be basic because I don't know anybody that has this one on here. The thing is, the 3 that I have are very close for me. It's hard to like narrow it down just to 3 because there's like 4 or 5 that are just right outside that. But I'm stalling to finally decide that Jake Gyllenhaal is my number 3.
Nice.
Yeah, I just think this dude really understands acting, really understands how to show a range of things. Obviously, Enemy is 2 different roles. Even if you don't like that movie, I think we can agree that performance is still very, very interesting and engaging. He's really great in Nocturnal Animals, where he has to play 2 different people in that role as well. Nightcrawler, I think, is only a great film because of him. He's really solid in Steel Showing and Prisoners. There's some great films that old Gyllenhaal has been a part of. And it was really difficult for me to leave him at number 3, just because he's turned in a tremendous, tremendous decade. Like even Spider-Man Far From Home, when he does stuff like that, he's still great. So that is my number 3.
Yeah. Nice choice.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have you seen Velvet Buzzsaw yet?
I have not.
Okay. I just have to say with Velvet Buzzsaw, him and Toni Collette, despite the fact that the film kind of sucked, him and Toni Collette like still shone through, despite like not having the best script.
Yeah.
And it's just a credit to them.
John Malkovich is having a great year.
Oh yeah. He's having a very John Malkovich year.
It's a really wicked year.
Extremely wicked, incredibly vile, or whatever he says at the end of that. God, that's so bad. No, but I'll move on to my number 3 in the actress category, just so we like snake around. I'm a snake. My number 3 pick. Look, I don't want to get too mad at the fans, but I was deeply, deeply upset when you guys kicked this person out of the tourney. What I felt like was prematurely. So my number 3 spot for actresses, sort of, accounting for that loss, is Lupita Nyong'o. I think she is fabulous in 12 Years a Slave. I think she's incredible in Us. I'm really excited for Little Monsters. Even in something, I mentioned Gyllenhaal being in an MCU film. Even in something like Black Panther, I think she provides a decent weight and levity to that story that really needs a character actor, or not character actor, but an actor of that caliber to pull that off. Now, I will say she didn't start acting till this decade, so it wasn't till 12 Years a Slave. I think that was her feature debut. She was in a TV series before that, but it's just really interesting that even though she started in 2013 acting-wise, she still was able to leave like her mark. And I think, I will admit, like there's some of these that I'll mention, most of them have a decent amount of films. And maybe that is working against Lupita, where it's like, okay, well, she's only been in 12 Years a Slave, Queen of Katwe, Black Panther, and Us, which isn't that big of a track record. I understand that. But I think what she has done is great. But Turtle, what is your number 3?
Number 3, ladies, it's going to be Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss is a really great actor, but I think because the majority of her good faith, it's one because she was in a TV show, Mad Men. And I haven't, to be fair, seen that many films from her, but what she has turned out is really great. She was really funny in The Square, She was pretty good in Us. But the standout performance is her Smell, which I watched this year. Possibly my favorite performance that I watched this year. She absolutely turns it out with dedication, and I can't wait to see more.
Nice, awesome. Blake, what is your third pick?
I think I'm gonna move someone around here. Okay, so yeah, she's now number 3. We'll go with Michelle Williams for number 3.
I was just gonna remind everybody, I accidentally put Michael Williams, and she got bounced in the prelims.
Okay.
Because
I
people
thought you were
didn't
gonna remind them that she was in Venom. So I was like,
oh no. That's what you're doing.
She does a very showy performance in My Week with Marilyn, which I think Eddie Redmayne kind of ruins, but she's really good in that. Other than that, though, she really always turns in really endearing performances. Blue Valentine, she should have won for. And Manchester by the Sea, she lost to Viola Davis, but she probably could have won for that too. And then Certain Women, which is on Criterion, but I think more people need to see it. It's a segmented film, and she has like the middle section of that, and she's like in a crisis, and she pulls it off really well. And then of course Venom. So yeah, Michelle Williams.
Awesome, great pick. Blake, you're gonna also start us out with your number 2 for the actors.
Okay. Might switch 2 and 1 here. No, I'll go. Okay.
Whoa.
No, Shia LaBeouf is number 2. Fellow Gemini. Even in bad movies, I think he's really good. A bad movie example would be Charlie Countryman, which is like a terrible music video, but he's really intense in that. And then Borg McEnroe, which we mentioned a couple weeks ago. He's not in it very much, but he's very villainous and menacing in that. Peanut Butter Falcon, which is one of the best films of the year. I think he's really going to get a lot of attention for that. And then but the thing that really brought him back is kind of American Honey. Really charismatic in that. And you don't know what to believe when he's there, but you can't stop listening to him. And then Fury, he has a small role in that, but he's really good too.
Of course, yeah. And we're doing this with him with having not seen Honey Boy yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just have to say, like, what a journey from Even Stevens.
Yeah. And I want to see Nymphomaniac as well. I know he's doing like a really weird British accent in it, but I bet he's good still. But in Honey Boy, the character he's playing, his dad, is actually a clown. So I think he might be the superior clown of the year.
Ooh.
Hot debates.
Yeah. Putting some sizzle. Getting ready for that. All right, Turtle, what is your number 2 actor of the decade?
My number 2 actor of the decade is none other than second Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield.
Oh, love this pick.
Yeah, thank you. Andrew Garfield, first time I saw him was in The Social Network, and what an explosive entry into Hollywood. I truly just did an iconic job playing Eduardo Saverin. And more recently, I think his role in Silence is just so fantastic. Just deeply contemplating character with so much angst. And also he did Angels in America, and it's a stage play. He does comedy and tragedy really well as well. So Andrew Garfield, I think, is just one of those underrated heroes of Hollywood.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. Especially, I don't think he got enough credit because so we're going to be doing this just a little sizzle again. I like the word sizzle this weekend. I don't know why. But when people are talking about Martin Scorsese this decade, because I bring him up as one of the best directors of this decade, and people are like, oh, well, he's washed up. And it's like, no, he had Wolf of Wall Street and Silence, like two great films. And I think Silence often gets forgotten, A, because people really haven't seen it, and B, I guess like you're saying, it's contemplative and long, and not like preppy gangster fun, like Wolf of Wall Street is, and Martin Scorsese's known for. But I think also Hacksaw Ridge would be a good mention. I'm trying to. I heard he was pretty good in Breathe, which I haven't even seen yet. 99 Homes. I know Blake has seen.
Yeah.
He's really solid. I don't know if he's better than Michael Shannon because they're both really solid in that film.
No, I'd say the film is more geared towards Michael Shannon's character. I don't think he really has much to do in it.
Andrew Garfield?
Yeah.
I think he still turns in a pretty good performance. I really like. Okay, so I know I'm gonna get flamed because I'm actually eventually putting a video together on this. I really like his performance as Spider-Man, which I think a decent amount of people can at least agree upon. He's not the issue in those movies.
No,
and I think he was
quite endearing.
Yeah, especially him in the suit. Like I think he has that charisma that can do that stuff, especially because he loved the character of Spider-Man beforehand, and it's always great to see that happen. But great pick.
Thank you. Justice for Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. So the one I will be going with my number 2. So they're picking personal picks, which is lots of fun, of course. And I'm being the most basic film fan, which is fine. That's okay. And I'm going to be going with Ryan Gosling. I think it's impossible to ignore what this man has done. I think it's impossible to ignore what this man has done this decade. He's come out with movie after movie. I mean, I feel like he's always working. And this is, I feel like Half Nelson, which didn't come out in this decade, obviously, but I feel like Half Nelson and Lars and the Real Girl really were a departure for him to sort of find his legs, to act well in things later on, like Blue Valentine, Drive, Crazy Stupid Love, even something small like Ides of March. All those films rely on him knowing to go to a ton of different ranges. I watched some of Only God Forgives. I got a little bored by it, but that's not on him. He's great in The Big Short. I think he's often forgotten being in The Big Short because he's so like easy to be a chameleon. And then he really killed it because he had Gangster Squad and Only God Forgives back to back in 2013, which not the best, but that's fine. But he also had Place Beyond the Pines before that, which is, I honestly think, the best part of the movie. I think we can all agree on that. I'm pretty sure. The thing with me is I don't even like Place Beyond the Pines because it starts out so well. But yeah, no, this guy's 2015 onward with Big Short, Nice Guys, La La Land. We're gonna Song to Song's fine, but Blade Runner 2049 and First Man, like he has killed it. He's owned the decade. I think it's impossible to ignore what Gosling has done. So thus he makes it on my number 2 spot.
Very hard to argue with that, honestly.
Thank you. Blake, you got anything for the goose before I go to my number 2 actress?
A few things. He's only in Only God Forgives for a few minutes, really. That's not even a spoiler. He's just not in it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I literally only watched the parts where he's in it.
Yeah, he has like 2 lines or something. And First Man,
he only has 2 lines in Drive.
Well, no, I mean like, but no, First Man I really loved. I think more people should talk about that, but most people think it's boring.
Especially, I thought it was really lame that there wasn't that much like backing him not getting nommed.
Yeah.
I guess because people weren't really excited for First Man, but
it wasn't the bait that people thought it was going to be. It was like this weird, cold, not thriller in any way, but it was just really obsessive and cold and not showy at all. I thought
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 2 actress, I actually had a switch up as I was researching. This person dropped. They were my number 1. They're still my number 2, which should speak for them. My number 2 is Amy Adams. Yeah, I think Amy Adams is great. I think part of the reason I lowered it, I thought Enchanted came out this decade. And I love the Enchanted performance. But she's great still in minor things like Vice. We don't really talk about her DCEU work, but she's also in Nocturnal Animals for a little bit. She's solid in Big Eyes, American Hustle. Her in a smaller role, she's great in The Master. She's great in The Muppets. She's really solid in The Fighter. But I think her best performance is Arrival. Really, really tour de force, especially because a lot of times in a sci-fi film like that, it's usually a male taking the lead. And one of the things that I was sort of like trying to distinguish is finding films or finding actresses that took over as the lead, not even in the sense where they have to be on screen the most, but where they're using that time where it's like, hey, like you're going to pay attention to the work that I'm doing because like I'm that talented. And I feel like Amy Adams really does that well this decade. So that's my pick. I'll let Turtle go.
Thank you. My second pick is going to be Rooney Mara.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think Rooney Mara is just I'll be for real. I haven't watched Carol. Don't burn me at the stake, please.
Whoa,
I beg you. I beg you.
Kate Blanchett fans are shaking.
I trust that she gives as good as she gets with Kate Blanchett. So I have no qualms about nominating Rooney Mara. I think she just gives. Quite honestly, I think she gives the same character over and over again. Her, The Social Network, a Ghost Story. She's always the jilted girlfriend, and I'm okay with that because I think she does a damn good job at it. It's like her ability to make these characters kind of stand out in films with like crazy good actors, like especially her. I think she really stands out despite being literally next to Joaquin Phoenix.
Is she also in Breaking Bad?
No,
You're thinking of
She's in Breaking Bad.
I think Kristen Ritter or something.
Yeah, Kristen Ritter.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she
You're
like
thinking of Jessica Jones, I think.
Is
Yeah.
Jessica Jones not Rooney Mara?
Nah.
I've been lied to this whole time. All right, Blake, give us your number 2.
Okay, I'm going with Emily Blunt.
Oh, awesome. This is what I wanted to bring up.
I think Edge of Tomorrow and Looper, she kind of in Edge of Tomorrow, like you said, Amy Adams takes over Arrival, or you're looking for actors like that. And I think she takes over Edge of Tomorrow. She really makes that movie, and she is like the toughness of it, and like brings all the action. And then in A Quiet Place in Sicario, she's like the how do I say this? She's like the point of view for the audience, and she
for sure.
really carries the audience through the films. And then in Looper, she's just cool again. But Sicario, I really love, and I think her character doesn't really affect the plot, but I think we needed to follow her through it to really get the effect of the film.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
I endorse this nominee. Oh geez. So this is the point. We brought up the 2s and the 3s. So let's we can talk about the fan vote for the female list real quick, the actress bracket that we had. So it went pretty rudimentary. Unfortunately, there were no stands that came out to play for the old actresses. Amy Adams, Charlize Theron, Kate Blanchett beating Viola Davis narrowly, and Natalie Portman were all the final 4 people. I think rightfully so. It was, well, again, I'll admit to this, hand up. I didn't design the tournament the best way possible, but that's how tourneys go sometimes, and that's okay. I think Charlize Theron versus Margot Robbie was obviously like a sort of weak matchup when Kate Blanchett and Viola Davis are scoring off. I will say, I don't know if you guys caught this, but Saoirse Ronan made it really far.
Yeah, I
And
see that.
I mean, she has Lady Bird, but besides that, in Brooklyn and a small role in Grand Budapest, like she's not in much.
I think like Saoirse Ronan is the closest we got to someone with like actual stands in terms of the
Yeah.
women actors.
I was gonna say like Lady Bird is like half of Twitter.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm okay with that.
That's true. They never came out to play though. So Natalie
she is a
Portman
great
won.
actor.
She is.
Wait, Natalie Portman won?
Natalie Portman beat Saoirse.
Oh,
She didn't win overall.
yeah.
No, but Blake mentioned this, that he wanted to talk about this. Saoirse is definitely someone that I would be talking about for 2020 because I think she's going to take over that decade. But the fan vote was decided with Kate Blanchett winning. It was Blanchett versus Amy Adams, and Blanchett won. I assume, I might not be making the right assumption. So please, if you're out there and you're a Kate Blanchett fan, please let me know. I assume most people nominated her thinking Carol would win, so I didn't even put up a poll for Kate Blanchett's performance because I thought it would be like 100%, Carol fans. I don't even know what, like maybe Blue Jasmine has a couple people.
yeah.
But for the most part, I feel like people were going to vote for that. How do you guys feel about Blanchett winning?
I haven't seen Carol either, and I can't place her anywhere in this decade, honestly, at this point.
Carol.
Other than Thor.
Actually, I agree with you too, though. She was not on my radar at all for the decade.
Yeah. I mean, for the decade,
I think it's specifically her role in Carol that is like people are like, "Whoa, she's great."
Yeah, if you look at her films for this decade, they're all just kind of supporting roles.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the fan vote.
I mean,
oh, you're good. Go for it, Tudor.
Oh no, I was just mentioning. I think she earns a lot of good faith for Ragnarok, which which I think goes a long way into this. If we're talking about Stan, but
I honestly forgot she was in that film.
I kind
she was fun.
Show stealing, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I thought she could have been used better.
Yeah.
I thought the thing for me is when her second most recognizable film is Ocean's 8, and the thing that I don't like about Ocean's 8 is they're wanting her to be the Brad Pitt person. Me and Mia talked about this on the Brad Pitt episode. Brad Pitt is very special in that raw coolness that not a lot of people can pull off. And I think it's unfair to Blanchett that she was cast to do that, but it just doesn't work as well as it needs to. Yeah, we're going to move on to our number one picks. And hopefully we'll have a decider, or else we'll have to go to a tiebreaker round. Turtle, what is your first pick for the actress bracket? Your number one.
Is it okay if we double down?
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, because I'm picking Amy Adams.
Oh.
Okay, awesome.
I thought about this back and forth, and there literally could be no one else. We are on Amy Adams' stan train.
What?
Just the kind of versatility of her acting on all of these roles. Like, I could just name like Arrival, American Hustle, her, The Master, Nocturnal Animal. Like, I could go on, and also Sharp Objects. Like, she can do it all, And I'm still quite upset. Like, awards aren't everything, but I won't rest.
But that she doesn't have an Oscar? Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Or an Emmy. Everyone is expecting her to win an Emmy, and she didn't. She didn't get any recognition.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's okay.
I'm not bitter. Look, I genuinely just respect Amy Adams so much as an actress. And I think I stated my case. Thank you.
I like it. Blake, what is your number one pick?
My number one is Tilda Swinton.
Ooh, this okay. I'll admit to this before Blake goes on real quick. I tried my best to include everybody that I could. Forgot Tilda Swinton. Huge omission on my part. She's probably in my top 5. She might be 4.
Yeah.
Right after.
Yeah.
She's great. But continue, Blake.
Well, starting negatively, I didn't even like Suspiria, and I thought the whole film was kind of just bland. But I really thought whenever she was on, I actually cared. And then the same goes for Hail Caesar. I didn't think that movie was very good, but when she was on, she was playing 2 characters in that film as well. She's really good. And then Okja, she really commands the screen as the villain there. Only Lovers Left Alive, she's like the centerpiece there, and it's really a colorful movie, but she adds her own uniqueness amidst all the uniqueness that the film has. And then Moonrise Kingdom and Budapest and Isle of Dogs.
Is she in Snowpiercer? What year is
She is in
Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer, 2013.
No, she is in Snowpiercer. But
she's fantastic.
Yes, that is just the most
So creepy.
crazy role ever.
Yeah.
And then I think maybe her best performance is in A Bigger Splash. She doesn't really speak. Does she speak at all? Like
she speaks briefly.
Like her voice is gone.
Yeah.
No, but she
think
talks
she really...
in parts. She
Yeah.
just can't. But I don't know if I'd agree with that because little Blake, there was a film called We Need to Talk About Kevin.
I didn't see that film.
Okay, gotcha. Then that's fine.
It's-
You're saying that. You need to check it out. She's awesome in that movie.
And she's playing a normie, you know?
It is.
And she's killing it.
Yeah, and I thought that her scene in Endgame, although she was probably miscast, her scene in Endgame was actually really good.
Yeah, and to go on that, I know it was a little controversial that they cast a white lady to play a sort of, I think people were saying, well,
a monk.
Yeah, and I understand that. The only thing, not Tilda Swinton's fault. If you were offered like a lot of money, it depends on the role. Like obviously, like I mean, I would probably turn down a role as Martin Luther King. But
Really?
It's not. She didn't have to put in much work for.
Exactly, that's the thing. She didn't have to put in that much work. They gave her a check. I understand, Tilda. It's okay.
Yeah. We only see.
Yeah, no. Okay, so we got Tilda, Amy, Cate Blanchett. And for my number 1 pick, this was actually a mover and shaker on my list. Just because I kept thinking about it more. And I was like, Amy Adams is great, but I think this actress is even better. Because I think even in the DCEU, she's really good. And my pick is going to be Viola Davis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know where that was going. That was kind of scary.
Yeah, I was like, is it?
You thought I would Gal Gadot?
Yeah.
No. I think Viola Davis is just incredible. I haven't even seen How to Get Away with Murder. I've heard great things.
She's incredible.
Yeah, that's why it raises it even more for me. Just with that thought in mind. But even just on her films, obviously, like she came onto the scene with The Help, which she's fantastic in. But she's also really solid in Prisoners as one of the parents. She's really, really solid in Get On Up, even though that film isn't the best. But again, great actresses shine even when the film isn't great. I also thought she was amazing. I don't want to say this and Trent get mad because he loves Denzel. Maybe better than Denzel Washington? I don't know. Trent was going to bring Denzel Washington up, and so I have to. This is the obligatory me bringing up Denzel. But even as in Suicide Squad, she's solid as Amanda Waller. When I was rewatching that for our DCEU talk, I was like, man, no, she's great. Like that sort of raised it from being one of the worst films I've seen to being like, no, there's some solid things in here. And then obviously the big one for me is Widows. Yeah.
Everyone was incredible in that, but it's hard not to notice how good Viola Davis is.
Actually, just when she's yelling on screen by herself, like crying, and she's
We were talking about this earlier, but Viola Davis, when she cries, she does like the proper like snot like
Oh,
the
yeah, it's
sobbing.
gross.
It's so like it is disgusting, and I love it.
She makes crying look sad. No, but with all that said, Amy Adams is going to be our winner because we don't need a tiebreaker. Because I brought up Amy Adams second, and she was second in our fan vote. So Amy Adams is our pick, which means we're going to Turtle. What film are you picking to represent Mrs. Adams?
Now, oh god, I didn't. Well, it's gonna be Arrival because
Okay, cool. I was
she's the central
I was
character.
worried you were pausing, and I was like, is she not picking Arrival?
No. I was trying to think whether like I could
Picking
think
the
of
miniseries
another.
Sharp Objects.
Can we? Because she
No,
is
I'm not
just
watching 10 hours for one pick in the tourney.
it is worth it if you love Gone Girl, if you love Amy Adams. This is just the best of both worlds.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that is our pick for the actress category. And that's Arrival is going to be locked in our tourney. So now we have 2 Villeneuve films locked and loaded in our tourney. Yeah.
We need Prisoners, right, Turtle?
Well, no, we already have Prisoners.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. But we're going to move on to the actor category. So this is where things got wild. So obviously the first one that came up is Robert Pattinson fans showed up out of nowhere. And I commend them. However, I will say I think Robert Pattinson is trending upwards. I don't think he's in the discussion yet. And I think that means he's going to have a Ryan Gosling, Jake Gyllenhaal-esque 2020, where we're talking about this guy as, oh my God, he changed Batman. He was great in Tenet. Just all these films that he's slated to be for. So I understand people's campaigning for Pattinson. And I respect that. I think he's great in Good Time. Still need to see The Lighthouse. Blake, how do you feel about the collective people of Robert coming out?
He would probably be my number 4 or 5.
Oh,
yeah. I really love everything I've seen from him, even in some bad movies like Damsel, or he was in a couple Cronenberg movies that weren't very good.
watch the Twilight franchise?
I've seen the first 3 of them. I don't remember if he's good or not in them, though. And,
I was just going to say
but
some of them are in the 2010s, and he is. You're right, Turtle. No one's good at that.
I'm a noted ex-Twilight lover, and I just have to say, no one is good in that, but I think no one's given a chance to be good in that.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it's not anybody's fault.
But of course, Good Time. Honestly, one of my favorite films, I have to say. He's just amazing in that. So yeah.
I was because of the nature of how we're doing this, in that like whichever actor wins, their best performance gets a lock in the tourney. I was kind of excited in the fan vote when Pattinson was leading, because I was like, oh, okay, maybe Good Time could get locked into the tourney, and that would be cool.
Yeah.
But one thing specifically with that, he also beat out James McAvoy. That was, I think, our final 4. We'll talk about the last one, but it was also Jake Gyllenhaal, and he got beat bad. But James McAvoy was also in our final 4. Before we get to ours, I just want to mention he had a really sneakily good decade that I think people don't talk about as much. And that's if you've seen all his films. Specifically, I think Filth is a film. Yeah, no, it's a film a lot of people haven't seen. He's incredible in Filth. What? Come on, guys. But I think he's also great in all the X-Men films. So that's the thing with James McAvoy. I would root for him to be nominated because of the Filth role, but I know the fans would be like, oh, Split, or Charles Xavier. So I knew that wasn't happening. But do we want to get to the Turtle? Do you want to mention anything on those 2? Oh, sorry. Go for it, Blake.
So 50-50, which would have been this decade, he was actually scheduled to be in that film in the lead role until his wife had a baby the week it was supposed to start production.
Then
really?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt took over. Interesting.
But yeah.
I think if he had 50-50, I don't know. Jake Gyllenhaal's great, so that's hard. But he might be in contention for my top 3.
I know this isn't the 2010s.
For sure, gonna mention Atonement.
I'm just saying he does a fantastic job. Okay,
He does. He does.
a
He makes
fantastic job.
period dramas watchable. Also,
You
Nomeo and
shut
Juliet.
your
I will
mouth.
say, Nomeo and Juliet. He's solid as a voice actor.
As Mr. Tumnus, pretty great. No.
Yeah, he's solid in Atomic Blonde.
How is he in it? Sorry, yeah.
It's okay. I think the script for It Chapter 2, that's my problem with it. That's where I think the movie struggles. I don't think I don't know, it's weird because he's a talented actor, and I think he's acting well, but his dialogue he's given isn't good. So that's an interesting one. But I think he's the best actor besides maybe Hader. Hader gives in a pretty good performance as well. But they're both fun. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get to the main guy, the main edgelord of the Sith Lord cinema. Our friend who won the tourney, Adam Driver. The more he got brought up, because I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I was glad because he beat Daniel Day-Lewis. And don't get me wrong, I love Daniel Day-Lewis. But for the decade, he has Phantom Thread and Lincoln, I think. That's it. And I don't particularly love Lincoln. So he just has Phantom Thread for me.
Yeah.
That dude was as good as retired by Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, but when I started looking, because that's when he was catching up on Daniel Day-Lewis, and I was like, yes, take out Daniel Day. I started looking, and he's had a really, really impressive decade. I think obviously he started more as a character actor, and somehow he's just grinded his way like to these amazing roles. Obviously, Star Wars helps. Being in that definitely helps elevate and put your career for people to see. But he's amazing in Frances Ha. In a small role. He's amazing in Inside Llewyn Davis, also small role. He's amazing in I'm Making Nachos in What If. I don't know if y'all have seen that movie. Have you seen it? Oh, okay.
The Daniel Radcliffe one?
Yeah, I think the line is I just had sex, I'm making nachos or something like that. And it's he makes that film memorable, which otherwise it wouldn't be on my mind. And there's plenty of other films like While We're Young. This Is Where I Leave You is a film that I like more than most, where he really found his footing in 2016. I mean, you're looking at Midnight Special, Patterson, Silence. I haven't seen Girls. I know people make fun of him because he has to kiss an unfunny person or something. I don't know. I don't know. People make jokes. I don't understand them. But he's great in Logan Lucky, both Star Wars films, Black Klansman. I haven't seen Don Quixote yet. But we're looking at a 2019 that has Dead Don't Die. Don't get me wrong. Like the buzz is sort of dying with that. But he's coming out with The Report, Marriage Story, and The Rise of Skywalker, all in the same season. Which that's going to be fun.
He's going to win something, I'm sure. Or he's going to be a contender. He's
going to be nominated. I think he's going to be nominated for Marriage Story.
Oh, yeah. But
I don't know if he'll win.
Patterson is so good. Like, I can't even put it into words. Turtle, have you seen Patterson?
No, I haven't.
Come on.
It is the most simple film maybe ever.
If Blake, I'll be honest. If Patterson had won the fan vote, I would probably be voting this different just so I could get Patterson into the tourney.
There's a dude driving a bus and writing poetry, but it is so good.
It's amazing. It's one of the seriously, I consider it one of the best films of this decade.
Oh yeah.
And that's literally Blake is right. That's literally all there is to it.
I look forward to watching this then.
You need to get to it. It's really solid. The actress that's in it too is pretty great. Off of Driver. Trying to get her name so I can.
Yeah. I don't know if she's acted again. I haven't seen her.
She has been in a couple of films that I haven't heard of, but she's still acting. That's interesting. But yeah, no, she's really great. But yeah, that's our
I
Adam
need to
Driver
watch
talk.
Patterson and Paddleton or whatever it's called. Peas.
Yes.
The peas.
Yes, both the P's.
Yeah.
But how do you guys feel specifically with Driver being picked for The Last Jedi?
If he wasn't in it, I think I would have given it a negative score. Like, he's the only thing that holds it together.
Really?
Yeah.
I think see, this is where I would disagree because he's fun in it, but I think Ridley and Hamill are the ones that are making me interested in that film. But I can see what you're going for, especially because he has some scene-stealing moments.
Yeah. I don't think Hamill's a good live-action actor. And Daisy Ridley, I don't know quite sure what she has other than just, I don't know.
Raw charisma?
Like innocence. I don't know what she has other than innocence so far. Hopefully we find out.
She's great in Star Wars.
No, she's not bad. She's not bad.
No, I'm not saying she's not bad. I am saying she is great.
There's nothing like pulling me towards her, and I think that's a bad thing since the series is going to end, or her character's probably going to end.
I mean, I disagree just because on the get-go I was already invested in her character because she's just got this. I get what you're saying with innocence.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't say
Charisma.
that. I'd say, yeah, there's charisma to it, but most of all, I think her sense of wonder that she's able to display in the Star Wars world, I think makes, for me at least, it makes The Force Awakens something that is amazing. Because all these things that are happening to her are how you or I would perceive becoming, a Force wielder for the first time and being dropped into this world and everything being awesome, meeting Han Solo. Like she's able to show all that. And inverse of that, I think Adam Driver has to show a ton of other different emotions opposite of wonder, where he's dealing with a ton of different things, which I feel like is better. And this is funny that the fans went with Last Jedi, because I think he's better in The Force Awakens. Just specifically because he has multiple scenes where it's almost like confessions, where he's dealing with the call to the light. I just thought that was something that could come off cheesy, and Adam really, really acts those scenes well. But yeah, Turtle, feel free to give final thoughts on Mr. Driver.
Watch Black Klansman.
Who did he lose to? I can't even remember.
What do you mean? Oh, in Black Klansman?
Yeah, he lost.
Let me think. Who was supporting that year?
Mahershala Ali.
Hey, Mahershala is great in Green Book.
Is he better than Adam Driver though?
I think so. But I would say Mahershala is co-lead.
Yeah, I consider him a lead, really.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whatever.
Who else was nominated for that category? Sam Elliott in A Star Is Born.
Sam Rockwell.
Oh God, I forgot how weak this category. Never mind. We're going away.
No, okay. I quickly right. Why did Sam Elliott get nominated for Star Is Born?
I agree, but we're not going down that path.
Why did Sam Rockwell get in there?
We're gonna go back to the actor category. So Adam Driver is the move for the fans. If anybody else has Adam Driver at 1, then he will win. But we'll start with the number 1 picks, with Blake rounding the start out with his number 1 actor of the decade.
All right, we're going with Jesse Eisenberg.
Nice.
So, why'd you say it like that?
I didn't mean
You
it
said
like
nice.
that.
Okay. All right, so he starts the decade with The Social Network. And that so he could just win the decade from that point on, depending on who you talk to. But I think he gets better through the double, through the end of the tour, and then in Night Moves, which is a really small thriller. Same director as Certain Women, which I mentioned earlier, but it's really honestly one of my favorite movies. And then I enjoyed him in Dawn of Justice, but I think
I agree with you. I think
that's what kind of scared him into
Yeah.
the indies.
Good.
but I think
And
what's
then
weird
Louder Than Bombs is also another one. Sorry.
I was just gonna say what's weird is that people thought his portrayal of Lex Luthor Jr. I don't know. I think the DC universe just handled that poorly because he's a completely different character than who Lex Luthor normally is. And I think he gives an interesting performance that at least adds something to that film where it desperately needs it.
That film's so boring that that extra bit of campness that Jesse Eisenberg added just made the whole thing just palatable.
Yeah. And you guys have both seen The Double, right?
I have.
Yeah. Oh, well, I have.
Have you seen The Double?
I have, yes.
Okay, yeah. He's really incredible what he does there. I mean, the complexity between the two characters is so.
So you're not even mentioning Now You See Me?
Nah, I mean,
J. Daniel Atlas, bro.
He's just annoying, and I'm not mentioning American Ultra either. That's
I think it's really interesting that out of the Social Network, right? I've become the diehard Andrew Garfield stan, and Blake has become the diehard Jesse Eisenberg stan.
Yeah,
I've become the diehard Army Hammer stan.
Oh, there you go.
No, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
No, have you seen Art of Self-Defense? That's what.
No, I was about to bring that up. Yeah, no, it looks great. It's available to rent now, and it's around.
Oh, yeah, I'm probably gonna get to that. That'll add to his really fun.
He's got another film this year.
Yeah, Zombieland 2.
No, he's got another one.
I'm
like
joking.
a sci-fi film. It's about houses. It's like about like a cloned like town. I don't know how to explain it. It's called Vivarium.
Vivarium, yeah.
It's got Imogen Poots in it too. It looks great.
Awesome. So that is.
I don't know when it's supposed to come out, but he's got a film about a mime. It's done. There's like pictures of it. It's a French film, I think, playing like a mime.
Awesome.
Should be great.
Sweet. So Turtle, what is your number one pick for the actor category?
I'm going to go for Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
There you go. I think Matthew McConaughey does this. He really has like two modes where he's very much serious actor and a character actor all rolled into one. Honestly, he brought that together in Beach Bum. I don't know how, but it was like really great. But I think the kind of shift in career he had from True Detective, I honestly did not think he would be able to maintain it. Where he where he just suddenly turned into this very serious, like a well done actor. And he's just surprised me ever since. Again, The Beach Bum, Wolf of Wall Street. For the short time he was there, he made such a huge impression. I just think he's very wacky. He's very fun. He's very serious. He's got the range.
See, Matthew McConaughey would be high for me if between Interstellar and The Beach Bum, he had turned in at least one more performance. Because the only thing is we're talking Free State of Jones, sort of Oscar buzz miss, Gold in Oscar buzz miss, The Dark Tower, which again he's probably cast well. Really bad film. Yeah.
He
White
took
Boy
that
Rick?
film over Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Like Stallone's part or Kurt Russell's part?
Kurt Russell.
Oh, he messed up.
Jeez.
But yeah, White Boy Rick, I don't even think he's that good in. Oddly enough, I think he's overacting in comparison to the rest of the cast. I heard Serenity wasn't very good. All of this is to say he's one of those actors where he had a really great start with Lincoln Lawyer, which is that film tricks you because of McConaughey, where it tricks you into thinking it's passable. I don't think it is, but Matthew McConaughey is good enough of an actor to make you think that. Bernie, he's a smaller role, but still great. Mud, a lot of fun.
Mud.
Magic
is the
Mike.
Paperboy this decade?
Paperboy is this
decade.
decade.
Pulled up?
Yeah, that is this decade.
That is a very like terrible movie, but it's got something really watchable about it, and I think he and Zac Efron are really good together.
Yeah, that's Turtles number 1. Unfortunately, in a turn of events, my number 1 pick is going to be
There we
Joaquin
go.
Phoenix. Which means we're at a tie, but I'll talk about Mr. Phoenix first. I think it's impossible not to bring him up. It's okay that my co-host didn't. That's fine. We recorded this late, so I'll try not to talk about the Joker too much. I think he's fantastic in it, though. I think even if you don't like that film, he's really solid. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about here that I think has shaped Joaquin Phoenix's career, and I might. We're doing we're doing a decade in review video essay series. I'm gonna have a couple videos coming out that we're doing. I think Austin's making one for a film coming up too. But Joaquin Phoenix, and this is one that I think I'm gonna have to talk about because it sort of defined the decade. Is the film I'm Still Here? I know there's a lot of people that don't like this movie. That is okay.
I'm going to kill you and then myself.
I just think, in my opinion, this film shaped Joaquin Phoenix's career. Where he was able, again, to go on to take roles like The Master, like Her, like Inherent Vice, and really thrive in those performances. I think without that self-reflection that he's doing in I'm Still Here, where he poops on Casey Affleck, we don't get these incredible performances that we were able to get. And I know a lot of people made fun of him, similar to Shia when he was going through the thing he was going through. But I think this helps an actor learn. This helps an actor, perfect. I know I don't like talking about it, but like perfect the craft of what acting truly is. And I think Phoenix is on full display with that here. But we have to solve this tie. How do you guys want to do this? We can go our number 2s if you want real quick. So we're going to be limited to Eisenberg, McConaughey, Phoenix. If you want, I guess we could open it to all the actors we said in our top 3. It would just get weird with how many points a number 2 vote is.
Yeah.
I can open it to them, but hopefully we can figure out a tie. Because the number 2 for the fan vote is Robert Pattinson, so I guess I'll stick with that because I have no indication on the others. Blake, what is your number 2 pick?
Yeah, I'd say Shia LaBeouf.
For actually, okay. Oh man, this is tough. God. Looking at the ones list, I really like Andrew Garfield's career. I mean, that's not my pick, but I'm tempted.
He is pretty good.
I think I'm gonna still stick with Ryan Gosling. None of this helps though. Turtle, what is your number 2? Hopefully it's unless it's Andrew Garfield, then we'll have to switch the rules and I'll cut this bit.
Actually Timothy Chalamet. No, it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, sweet. Okay, we're saved.
Yeah, so we have a winner.
Chalamet. Oh,
Timmy T. He's gonna get it at some point one day. Unless he messes
for the king.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Okay, so Joaquin Phoenix is the pick after our illustrious tiebreaker.
Well done, guys.
And my pick for Mr. Phoenix, his best role, I think, in the film that I want to get in, is going to be a film that I initially didn't give a score that would be in a tournament of 64. But, upon revisiting it over and over, I think it's a really important film. I think it's a really important film for this decade specifically. That is going to be You Were Never Really Here.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was debating I'm Still Here. I'll let the fans decide that with my video I put out. But I think the thing is, not a lot of people have seen, or not enough people have seen You Were Never Really Here. And I want to put this into the tourney so we can have a proper discussion on some of the themes in that film. So those are our 2 picks. Our episode is over and done with. Thank you, Stans, for coming out. If this is your first time listening, I think Adam Driver will have a great chance at making the tourney in some capacity. So don't fret, especially Robert Pattinson as well for good time. There's always plenty more. And if you guys want to recommend films, top 3 in the decade, sort of time capsule that you want us to remember, you can DM us on Twitter at allthatfilmpod. You can email us at allthatfilm1@gmail.com. If you guys want to see the films that are already in the tourney or that are locked in to be in the fan vote, you can do so at allthatfilmpodcast.wordpress.com. And then where can I find Turtle on Letterboxd?
I just want to add a quick PS. The film where Michael Shannon is married to Christina Hendricks and she sleeps with him.
Oh,
It's Barnesville. Thank you. Yes, the Christmas
that
one.
Christmas one, bro.
Yeah, please
about
look
furries?
at least the poster. It looks as bad as it sounds.
So Pottersville locked for the tourney.
So I am Saturative on Letterboxd, SATURATIVE.
And Blake, where can we find you?
I'm Reboot7 on Letterboxd.
And you can find me at 50 Shades of Hay. But that's our episode. Thank you guys for listening.
You.
Bye.
Bye.